you've been telling yourself it's fear. Fear of failing, fear of starting over, fear of what people will think, fear of choosing yourself and it not working out. Spoiler alert, it's not fear, it is grief. You are grieving a version of yourself that you loved, a version that people knew, a version that felt safe and familiar, even when she was quietly costing you everything. And here's the thing about grief. We don't rush it. We honor it. We sit with it. We make space for it. But at some point, we also have to be honest about what staying in that grief is actually doing to us. So let's get into it. Hey friend, real quick, if you are not subscribed to the Confident and Empowered Women podcast yet, what are we even doing, okay? We are here every single Tuesday and Thursday, and this is not just a podcast. This is a community of women who are done shrinking, settling, done people-pleasing, performing, and putting herself last. This is where we come to remember who we actually are and build a life that reflects her. We are becoming together, friend, and if you are not subscribed yet, today is the day. Hey, friend. I want to start by saying we are holding tender space for grief as we have this conversation. If you've been feeling all the feels of grief all at once lately, my heart is with you. Usually when we're talking about grief, it's centered around the loss of a loved one. But grief expands beyond someone no longer physically being here and making their transition to heaven. We experience grief when things come to an end or change in a way that's no longer manageable. We see it in relationships, whether romantic, family, or even friendships, the loss of a job or career, even the loss of a home or having to relocate. It can be any significant loss. And the one that doesn't usually enter the group chat is grieving a version of yourself. There is a version of you that exists because of that relationship, career, or even where you live. And because of it, you are the one who prioritizes the other in the relationship, so your needs or wants are secondary. You are the one with the job that's massively impressive and you've reached the height of your game, but now it's no longer and you have to figure out who you are now without the title or even the connections. Or maybe you're the one who stayed in the same town, but now circumstances have changed and you have to move and start all over again. So that means getting familiar with where everything is, building new relationships and a support system. And all of that is so big and so unknown. We put so much of ourselves into the roles we play and the titles we hold. It easily becomes our identity, and it gets hard to separate the two. When there is a shift in your identity or a major change in your life, and suddenly who you've been, she was real, and now she gone. And that version of you that you're grieving, she wasn't wrong or weak, and she was certainly not a mistake. She was exactly who you needed her to be at the time. She protected you. She performed when she had to. She kept things together when everything felt like it was falling apart. She showed up and she showed out, even when she was running on empty. Listen, she deserves your gratitude, not your shame. But here's what I also need you to hear with your whole heart when I say this. She has finished her assignment. Think about it like this. You know how when a season ends of your favorite show and the writers have to let go of a character, not because the character was bad, but because the story has outgrown them. The show has to move forward. The plot has evolved, and keeping that character would actually hold the whole story back. And friend, right now, that's you. That old version of you was not the villain of your story. She was a character in an earlier season. And the show, AKA your show, has moved forward. The problem is not that she existed. The problem is that you are still trying to write her into scenes she no longer belongs in. You are auditioning for a role that has already been cast. And the woman who got cast is you, the new you, the one you keep delaying because letting go of the old one feels too much like a loss. Grief is real, but friend, you cannot stay a caterpillar while you are standing here with your butterfly wings. And let me tell you what staying actually looks like, because we have got to call this front and center. Staying looks like saying yes every time somebody asks you to do them a favor when everything in you is screaming no, because the old you was the one who always said yes. And if you stop saying yes, who even are you? Staying looks like shrinking in rooms where you should be leading, because the old you was quiet, agreeable, easy to be around. And stepping into your power feels like a betrayal of who people thought they knew. Staying looks like going back to that same old, tired, dried up situationship, or to the dead end job, or that friendship that drains you, and even to the version of yourself that was smaller and safer and somehow just easier to love, because at least that version was familiar. Listen, remember, this is a no shade, no shame, and no judgment zone, friend, because I have been there. I spent a decade-ish dating and going in circles, okay? And when I finally got honest with myself, I realized I had kept going back, not because the situationship was right for me. I kept going back because the woman in that situation was a version of me I already knew how to be. She was comfortable, even when she was miserable. And leaving her behind felt like abandoning someone I loved. But here is what changed so much for me. You are not abandoning her. You're graduating. And graduation, it's supposed to feel like a loss and a celebration all at the same time. The tassel has to move from one side to the other. That's how this works. You cannot stay in the cap and gown forever, friend, okay? At some point, you have to walk off that stage and into what's next for you. And one thing I really had to work on was how I interpreted things. Because when something happened, I would automatically go to the full worst case scenario. And even without realizing it, that became the lens I used to see everything through. And grief was no different. The grief you feel when you think about changing, it's not a warning. It's not your intuition telling you to stop. And it certainly is not God, source, or universe saying turn around. It is a signpost. It's confirmation that what you are leaving behind actually mattered. You can't grieve something that didn't mean anything to you. That grief is proof that she was real, that the life you built around her was real, that the people, places, and patterns that came with her, they were all real. And now you're being asked to trust that something even more real is on the other side. Think about it like a song you loved in a completely different season of your life. Maybe it was your jam, your anthem when you were going through something hard. Maybe it reminds you of a person or a time or a feeling that is long gone. And when that song comes on, you feel something, that nostalgia, that ache, a kind of bittersweetness that it's hard to put into words. And listen, I was feeling that way once, smack dab in the middle of a Keisha Cole concert. My husband and I went, and listen, those songs took me right on back into time. A time when I should have let you go was my anthem. And there I was. And listen, Keisha Cole was sounding phenomenal, okay? I cannot skip out on that because she can sing, okay? And every song I sang right along with her. But it didn't have the same pain it once had because I was standing there feeling whole and complete and with the love of my life holding me. But you do not put your whole life on pause and move back into that season just because the song hits different. You let it move through you. You honor what it meant and you keep going. And that is what I'm inviting you to do with this version of yourself. Let her move through you. Say thank you. Honor everything that she carried. And then, friend, keep going. Because the woman you're becoming, she has been waiting, and she is not asking you to forget where you came from. She's asking you to trust where you're going. Okay, when was the last time you sat down and really asked yourself, what do I need? Not what everybody else needs, not what's on the to-do list, what you need, what you want. What you actually believe about yourself right now. Because here's what I know. Clarity does not come from thinking harder. It comes from asking better questions. And the moments I feel stuck are really just moments when I have been asking myself the wrong questions on repeat. The main character energy journal prompts creates that space and leads you in a positive direction. They help you get quiet enough to hear yourself and ask the kind of questions that actually move you forward, connecting back to yourself and reminding you who you really are, not who you've been performing. So, friend, the link is in the show notes, and I think you're ready. Okay, friend, it's time for our favorite self-love two-step. And this week we are doing the let her go two-step because awareness without action just keeps us circling, and we don't do that around here. So here's what we are doing this week. Step 1, write her a letter. I want you to get out your journal, a notepad or notes app, and I want you to write a letter to the version of yourself you've been holding on to. Not a goodbye letter full of shame, okay? This is a thank you letter. Tell her what she did right. Tell her what she protected you from. Tell her what you're grateful for. And then gently, lovingly, tell her that her assignment is complete, that you are safe now, that you've got it from here. Give her the honor she deserves, and then set her free. And step 2, name the grief so it stops naming you. Pick one specific thing you've been calling fear, and I want you to rename it as grief. Maybe it's the grief of leaving a relationship that was familiar, even though it wasn't right for you anymore. Maybe it's the grief of a career identity that just no longer fits. Maybe it's the grief of a woman who put everyone else first and doesn't know who she is without that role. Whatever it is, name it out loud. Say, this is not fear, this is grief, and I am allowed to feel it, and I'm also allowed to keep going. Naming it takes its power away, friend, and grants that power back to you. And giving yourself permission to grieve without judgment, it's one of the most courageous things you will ever do. And step 3, ooh, yes, this is the you step. You get still, you get quiet, and you ask yourself, what is my heart telling me to do next? Because whatever comes up, that is your next right aligned step. Not the whole plan, just the next move. And trust her, friend, she already knows. Now, let me pour into you real quick. I see you, friend. I see the woman who's been so good at holding it all together that she don't even know what letting go looks like anymore. I see the woman who built her whole identity around who she was for other people. And now that she's finally choosing herself, it feels a little less like freedom, but a lot more like loss. I see you sitting with this quiet grief that you can't quite explain to other people around you. How do you say I'm grieving a version of myself? Like, how do you even explain it to someone who just wants you to be okay? You don't have to explain it. You just have to honor it. She was real. Everything you built with her was real, and you're allowed to feel the weight of putting her down. She was real. Everything you built with her was real, and you're allowed to feel the weight of putting her down. But friend, I really need you to hear this. That weight that you feel right now, that is not the weight of a wrong decision. And that is the weight of a woman who loved deeply, who lived fully, and is brave enough to keep becoming. That's you. That has always been you. And she, the new her, she's proud of you for not looking away. In this life, we will go through many of transitions and pivots. Sometimes it's your choice, and sometimes it seems as if life has chosen it for you. And it's normal. It's a natural part of life. And you're allowed to take all of the pieces and parts with you. You're allowed to change, to grow, to evolve. You're allowed to become someone new who fits you and feels more comfortable in this season of life. New seasons will often require a new level of you, a new layer to come to the surface. This is really just an invitation to be more of yourself at this stage of your life, to be an even more authentic expression of who you really are. It's a beautiful invite to get to know yourself in a new way during a new season of parenthood, in your career or relationships, or even along your health journey. So many invitations to be the best of who you are now. You get to carry who you've been with you. The old you is just no longer driving. It's your turn to take over this leg of the trip. She's still in there. And the beauty is you can connect to her whenever you need her. It's okay to grieve who you've been as you welcome in who you were always meant to become. Ooh, friend, yes, this was pure fire. Let's continue the conversation right over on my YouTube channel. I'm posting videos every day, and this topic definitely deserves some more airtime. So join me there. The link is in the show notes. And friend, I'm so proud of you today. You could have done anything, and you chose to spend this time with me. And I'm forever grateful. I'm just so proud that you chose to invest in you today, to put something positive in your ears and light up your heart. So take this energy with you out into the world and let's light it up. Okay? And remember, you are not an extra in somebody else's story. You are the main character of your own story. So go be her. the one you've been becoming. She's been waiting on you to live out loud. I'm cheering for you loud and obnoxiously always. And no matter what comes our way, together we can encourage over everything. And I'll see you in the next episode.